Usually, when we talk about age gap relationships with a Filipina, we tend to focus more on the man in the relationship. Commonly, he may be perceived as being a dirty old man, and how his own family, especially his adult children, may react when he brings home a young, attractive Filipina who's younger than his children. But quite often, we can tend to forget how a Filipina in such an age gap relationship may feel. And for many Filipinas, they may be too shy to really express the truth on how they feel. She may be just happy to be with you and possibly now living in a new country where she can fulfill her hopes and dreams that she doesn't want to rock the boat. But can she feel this way forever without cracking at some point? To find out, be sure to buckle up and stay with me here. Just quickly, if you enjoy this video and channel, then be sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell to show your support, which, by the way, is greatly appreciated. Now, I have no doubts that Western society will judge large age gap relationships, especially with a Filipina, much more harshly than it would if you guys were living together in the Philippines. Many people in Western society may have many stereotypical ideas and thinking when it comes to an older man with a much younger woman from the Philippines. And in some cases, even if she isn't all that much younger, the fact that she's from the Philippines is enough for some people in society to think that she's only out to lie, cheat and scam the man. It seems for many in Western society, they can find it very hard to believe how a woman from a developing country can actually genuinely fall in love with a man from the West. For many of these people, all they see is a poor woman with a wealthier man, and they make their judgment solely upon that without knowing anything about the relationship at all. When a Filipina comes to her new country to commence her life with her husband, of course she's excited about all the possibilities that her new life is going to bring her, and she most likely is not really aware of the many prejudices, sly looks and insults that may come her way over many years. She may have heard stories before, or have even been pre-warned by her husband around how some people may act, but nothing can really prepare her for the reality of the situation that she may find herself in. Especially if she gets hurtful comments from her new husband's family and friends. How does a young woman in a new country react to such harsh treatment of her, and how does it make her feel? All of a sudden, her hopes and dreams of a wonderful life in her new country have been severely soured, and she's feeling so alone and lost in her life. You may say to her not to worry about such shallow-minded people, and for the most part, she may be able to push aside those looks and whispers from people as you walk hand in hand downtown. But when it's family and close long-time friends of yours who are objecting rather loudly and questioning her motive right in front of her, how does a young woman, inexperienced in life, handle this very situation? None of us can claim to know exactly what she'd be feeling or experiencing at that time, but many Filipinas won't want to feel as though they're the cause of friction between family members, that they'll remain quiet, even though they're hurting. We must know that for many Filipinas, they'll try and avoid confrontation where possible, and often they won't stand up for themselves. Simply, they'll take whatever comes their way, but it will be at a cost eventually. Now, I'm not saying the cost will ultimately be your relationship, although if she's not feeling welcomed in your country, it could end up being so for some. Filipinas on the whole are very loyal women, and once they commit to you, they'll move heaven and earth to make a successful relationship with a heavy focus on ensuring your happiness. So despite her unhappiness caused by the constant stares, looks and whispers of many irrelevant people, combined with hurtful comments from family and close friends, which of course makes her feel alienated in her new country, and the worry and guilt she may feel by the strained relationships, she'll most likely keep how she really feels to herself. This is where I believe we as caring husbands need to step up and protect our Filipina and reassure her that this is no way her fault. We need to take a solid stand against those family and friends who want to put their stereotypical beliefs and attitudes upon a young woman almost to the point of bullying her and say, no, I won't allow this to happen. Sometimes taking a hardline stand against such family and close friends can be hard, but I'm a firm believer that if you're going to enter into such a relationship, then you need to put your wife ahead of all injustices that you see being pushed on her. Sadly, for some, on occasions this will result in damaged or even the loss of relationships that we did value, and perhaps those relationships may never be recovered. But at the same time, we can't abandon the Filipina and allow the abuse and unfair comments to continue to be thrown at her at every opportunity. Because whilst on the outside she may sit there and smile, you must know that deep down she's not coping, and she'll see and hear all that's going on around her. You can be sure that internally she'll be a mess, and she'll have many fears. She may even fear that you'll take the side of your family and friends, and you'll send her back to the Philippines, which, by the way, does happen with some couples. As I say, we can try and prepare the Filipina for what may happen, especially if we get some idea that certain family members or friends may be against the relationship from the start. But we must know that there's no way she'll be able to fully prepare for what may come, and this can be hard for even the most mature Filipinas, let alone a much younger Filipina who's rather inexperienced in life. So be sure to be her rock when you guys are living together, and make sure she knows you have her back always, not just by your words, but more importantly, by your actions. Doing this will help her to move through these difficult times and to get on with having a wonderful life together with you in her new country. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.